What's going on, everyone? SnoopLoop7 here, bringing you the continuation of the Steady Aim perk breakdown video. If you saw that video, you know that I showed the hipfire both with and without steady aim of every primary gun in the game, except for shotguns and snipers. If you didn't see that video, make sure to check it out, the link will be in the description, but this video is going to now be focusing on the shotguns. So the two things to think about with the shotguns is first, how much tighter is the spread with steady aim compared to without steady aim? And second, how does the steady aim hipfire spread compare to the spread when aiming down sight? So I'm starting off here with the Bulldog, and first you'll see the hipfire with steady aim to the right, and then after you'll see without steady aim to the left. And obviously you can see that with steady aim the spread is much tighter. And with steady aim you can see that the bullet spread is about the size of a player's body, which means that you're much more likely to get a one-hit kill as long as you're within range. Without steady aim, those stray bullets are going to make it much more difficult to get those one-hit kills. So now for the comparison between the hipfire and aiming down sight, and you're going to see that there isn't much of a difference between the two, so really you're better off just firing from the hip with steady aim because you don't have to worry about the time it takes to aim down sight or trying to get on target while aiming down sight. And so again, just another comparison here between the two, and again you're going to see that you really just might as well fire from the hip if you have steady aim. And not only that, but if you're spamming the trigger on the Bulldog while ADSing, you're going to get some gun kick, making it even harder to hit your target as well. So up next for the shotguns is the FP6, a pump action shotgun, and again you're going to see the same format, first with steady aim, then without steady aim. And again you're going to see a pretty significant difference in the spread of the pellets. At this range, with steady aim, you're getting at least like 4 or 5 pellets in a pretty tight cluster, whereas without steady aim, you're really not even getting 2 or 3 in a tight cluster. So again, steady aim is going to be a big help. And now for steady aim versus ADSing. Just like with the Bulldog, you're going to see that there isn't a consistent difference between the two, meaning you're not going to be guaranteed a tighter pellet spread using one method over the other. So again, I think you might as well just hipfire and not have to worry about the ADS time. Now just showing it for the second time, the comparison of steady aim hipfire and ADS pellet spread. The ADS spread looks slightly better in this one, but like I said, it's not going to be better every single time. And so up next is going to be the MTS 255, and this shotgun has the widest hipfire spread, and you can pretty clearly see just how wide the reticles are. The 4 reticles that show your hipfire are just much more spread out than the previous 2 shotguns, and the pellet spread reflects that as well, especially when not using steady aim. The MTS does not have a very good hipfire, so steady aim again helps it out a lot as we look at it for the second time here. And so even really with steady aim, it doesn't look too great. So the next question is then, how does the steady aim compare to aiming down sight with it? And you're going to see that you actually get a much tighter pellet spread when aiming down sight as compared to just using steady aim and hip firing. And this is obviously a different result than with the previous 2 shotguns, so if you're using the MTS, you're actually better off aiming down sight onto your target before firing. Your pellets are going to be clustered together and you're going to be able to get those one-hit kills much more often. So now finally, onto the last shotgun, the TAC-12. Again, showing steady aim first, and just like always, steady aim is going to make the pellet spread tighter. But what I want to talk about now is the steady aim hipfire versus aiming down sights, because the TAC-12 has a built-in smart choke which makes the bullet spread tighter when ADSing. And it's interesting that they put it on the TAC-12 because it already has a really good hipfire with steady aim, so it can't really get much better. And yes, you'll see that it is slightly better when aiming down sight, but it's not nearly as big of a difference as with the MTS, which didn't have the smart choke. So you can see that here, that aiming down sight is going to make the pellet spread a little bit tighter, but again, even if you were to hipfire, as long as you have steady aim, you still have a good chance of getting a one-hit kill. So that about wraps up this video. Steady aim is your friend when using shotguns. It is definitely a must-have, and feel free to hipfire away with the Bulldog and the FP6, but with MTS and TAC-12, you may be better off ADSing. I hope this helps. If it did, be sure to leave a like rating, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Peace.